the fundamental issues we have raised here are not something that was in clandestine. It is not something that is hidden. There are things that are obvious. There are things that there are informations out there. He's going for lesser Hajj and lodging at a hotel worth $15,000 per night is not a smear campaign. People that went there with him and people that the informations are out there. Whatever it is that we are saying, you can verify the authenticity of the informations out there. And as a forum, we are not being sponsored by any individual. No individual have that moral standing to sponsor us to smear the profile of any individual. So with all of our allegations, all of the things that we have raised here are fundamentals and can be verified out there. The Coalition of Concerned Citizens frowns at the magnanimous exhibition of the corrupt practices, breach of public trust, and abuse of power by Bawa. Mr. Bawa needs to come clean on the way and manner he has prosecuted the anti-corruption fight, and should therefore explain how seized assets by the EFCC are being sold without adherence to due process, which exclude all form of kickbacks gotten from such process. For the record, Mr. Bawa was found wanting and reported arrested and detained in 2019 at the Port Harcourt office of the Commission, where he was the zonal head, on the fraudulent sale of trucks, which necessitated his removal and detention by the same EFCC for selling at least 244 commission seized patrol-bearing trucks worth about 20 and 30 million naira each to his proxies at a ridiculous amount of 100,000 naira through a shady auction exercise. Also recently, a Lokoja High Court convicted and ordered his arrest and committal to Kuje Correctional Center until he purged himself of the contempt. Nevertheless, he proceeded to harass, investigate, and persecute those who secured these rightful orders. The EFCC chairman even expanded his persecution to other individuals who were never done lawful business with the Kogi state government without fault. We humbly ask everyone here, has the rule of law been changed to favor anyone above the law itself? Is Bawa's primary role as EFCC chairman meant to help treasury looters evade justice? What is the essence of an anti-corruption chief who actively promotes sleaze? A disregard for the law still remains an offense, the highest of this great nation. Since Mr. Bawa is not above the law, why should he ridicule our judiciary before our very own eyes? The level of unprecedented incompetency, selfishness, greed, and corruption in the commission, as we are seeing under the leadership of the Bawa, has been a long-existing personal phenomenon which we are ready to crush and fight against. All of these allegations are serious and raise questions about Bawa's fitness to hold office at the EFCC. This means that he is abusing his power and undermining the integrity of the EFCC and the entire anti-corruption campaign. Bawa has continuously driven the administration anti-corruption crusade around with his lack of foresight and high level of ignorance on core objectives and administrational procedures for professional development of the commission in fulfilling his statutory mandate. Just like this, his extravagant spending has been unanswered allegation of corruption against Bawa himself. Some people have claimed that he has been involved in shady deals using his position at the EFCC to channel funds to himself or his cronies. Others have accused him of using his power to demand bribes from people under investigation, a practice known as extortion, inclusive of reports of suspects being detained for longer than the stipulated period without going to court, a move that violates their fundamental rights. This has raised concern about whether Bawa is truly committed to fighting corruption or if he is simply a pawn in the hands of political godfathers. All patriotic Nigerians therefore call on the Inspector General of Police and the Department of the State Service to wade in and compel the FCC chairman to obey court orders. The police force, DSS, and the NIA need to keep Bawa under close watch in a bid to truncate the plans of the EFCC chairman to evade arrest upon the inauguration of the incoming administration. Bawa needs to be summoned to court to defend the nefarious activities perpetrated under his leadership. At this point, we all should be convinced beyond doubt that unless and until a new change of guard is witnessed in the commission, the fight against corruption in the country will remain a joke. The coalition of concerned citizens still uphold the stance that only serious-minded officers who have served the people selflessly and meritoriously are not opposed to an examination of their books are indeed Nigerians that should be respected and celebrated for greatness. The accusations of selective persecution, compromise of independence, flouting of due process, and even corruption need to be investigated so that Nigerians can be sure that the fight against corruption is being led by people who themselves are not corrupt. Only then can we truly move towards a corruption-free Nigeria